Hey everybody, Troy from TR Tech Tactical and Survival here. I was up actually till about 1 o'clock in the night last night going over my bug out bag and taking out a lot of things. I've lightened up the load considerably and removed a lot of heavy things that I haven't used in years. Having a bug out bag means continuously updating and improving your gear, taking out heavy items, replacing with lightweight items, and always improving what you've got. Taking out cheaper stuff, putting in better stuff, and it's a continuous flow. If you're serious about being prepared and you're serious about maintaining a bug out bag, one, you're going to use the bag, become familiar with everything regularly, and you'll be always updating it and always improving it. It'll never be done. The project will never be finished. So I worked pretty long and late last night on this. I want to show you the current contents of my bug out bag. Now, I've brought out my Fieldline Pro Series bag, which has served us well. But this is my supplementary food bag and portable camp kitchen. It has served us quite well, but I'd like to be able to integrate this into this, and I'm looking for a pack that will go on the front of this or mount here, but I'm looking for something I can mount on my main bag but I can detach quickly. And this has no molly loops or straps, so it is not convenient for that purpose. And I'm sure you've seen me, many of you have seen me with this on my back and tied on and attempts to strap it on, and it was really terrible, really bad, because this wasn't meant to be strapped onto another bag. It is a bag in itself. So we'll show you what I've done. I've completely revamped my first aid kit and put it on the outside of my pouch. Now, quick draw, you have a bite and itch relief from Off, which I got on clearance at one point. And then I've got a little pouch here with a survival blanket, an emergency first aid survival blanket. Those are quick grab items. And then I've got the main pouch, which it's got a divider. It's awkward for me to show you, but just trust me, there's a divider in here. And I've got a little Colin's, I don't know how you say that, first aid kit, which is in there as an extra. It's got a whole mess of items in it, including moleskin, alcohol pad, antiseptic pads, steel needle, bandages, and all kinds of stuff. And that stays in here just as an extra. And then I've got a whole mess of Band-Aid real bandages in a sealable bag. And then I've got something that you need. I don't know if many people think about this, but fingernail clippers are a necessity. Your nails are going to grow, and tweezers for removing any splinters or objects. So that's the one pouch right there. Now I've got another pouch, and my first aid kit is going to be revamped heavily. I've always been working on my first aid kit and trying to improve it. I still need to add some painkillers and some other various items in here. But here's some heavy-duty big gauze bandages, some gauze wrap, and I put 5 pair of disposable gloves in here. Good for gutting deer or helping a person in need. But the disposable gloves, I had 100 set in here, just loosely flopping around, and that's when I took out the whole entire pack and I put 10 pieces in here, so it's not as much bulk. I took out a lot of bulk from my bag that I've been carrying around for years and not using. Now here we have a moleskin kit, which also includes some very good items. Does it say on the container here? It has medicated treatments, and it's got alcohol prep pads, and it's got a lot of really good cleaners and sterilization stuff in there. And then I have a dollar store corn and cushion pads, which has 9 cushions. These are very valuable on long-term hikes, and oh boy, the relief you get when you start to get a blister and you use one of these is tremendous. Now, I have some antiseptic and first aid creams that I'm going to be adding in here. I've got to find small enough vials and I'll be putting it up in the top. That's very important. I do have the creams, I just got to figure out how to get them in here because they come in these big tubes. I get them at the dollar store, these big tubes. So I've got to figure a way to carry them plus some painkillers. So that's got to go in here yet. That is on the way. Now, Melanie can attest to the fact I use these quick clips all the time for securing tents. I used it to secure the bolt the other day onto a piece of rope to a tree. So very convenient, all these quick tie clips on my bag. I can always slap something on there. When I'm walking, the solar panel hangs on here and hangs open. I have the folding solar panel, which I'll probably show you in a few minutes here. And that goes on the outside of the pack while I'm hiking. Now in the front pack, I've got I've got my Bible in its own little zip pouch and enclosed in a plastic bag. I've got the Bear Grylls survival kit in here, which I really love. I'm going to be doing a full review on that later. If you guys haven't seen it yet, you can go back a few videos and check out my overview when I opened this up and went over the contents. But I'm going to be doing a full review on this later. A very thorough field use and review on the Bear Grylls survival pick from Gerber. Really good high quality stuff in there. That's in there only because I am field testing it, I am reviewing it, and it goes where I go now. And I do like it so much that it's probably going to stick with me. I've got a little pouch that I was keeping on the outside of my bag, but it was flopping around too much and really annoying me. This carries my USB charging sticks, wires and accessories. Now, we are in a modern world. We do have GPS and we do have a phone and we do have an emergency devices. And as long as we are in the modern world and the system is still up, it would be stupid not to have your devices with you. So I do carry battery packs, a solar panel to recharge the battery packs, and then the wires and accessories needed to charge my devices. So that's there. I have a little bit of cordage here. This is for long-term survival. This is something I've never used and probably never will unless I ever have to really bug out long-term. I have some leather strap. It's like, I think, 50 feet of leather cordage, which I've had for years in here from the dollar store. The stuff is turned moldy from age, but I've had it in here. Something everybody should have is spare boot straps. This is one that I got from somebody. I'm going to do a review on it because it was a sort of a gag gift, but really cool. These have flint ferro rods on the ends of the shoelaces and strikers. So these are not only bootlaces, but they're survival fire starters. And then I got another bootlace here. And Melanie also will be carrying pretty much everything I have as well in her bag. And if I get a chance, once I finish revamping her bag, we'll go over the contents of that another time. And I got a Velcro strap, which is great for lashing on things in a hurry. Really, really useful. I do use the Velcro strap. Over here, just because I use cordage a lot in the field, I have a brand new pack of 550 cord. It's 100 feet that I am keeping in here for now. You never know when you're going to need that stuff. Up here I've got a mosquito head net, really quick and easy to grab, and very important out in the field. I've got a P38 military can opener, which you should always have with you. And then I've got a little compass and thermometer. It's good to know the temperature and the weather around you when you're out there in the field. So, and then I got my little fishing kit, which is a kit in itself and deserves its own video entirely. I am going through the contents in this, updating it and revamping it, and this is another, actually, a living thing that is always being updated. And as I fish and I learn what's best for wherever I am or whatever, I change this. And as I lose hooks or swivels, break or whatever, I continuously replace what's lost or used in that. Of course, your lures and worms. So there's the front pouch of my bug out bag. Now, I've taken out things like binoculars that I haven't ever used, but I have carried, that I'm going to put in an extra bag, probably when I figure out when I find a pouch to replace this, that'll snap on here, then I'll probably have that as an extra grab bag that stays in the vehicle, my bug out vehicle, with any extras like binoculars and topographic maps of different places I visit all the time, just to keep it all in one place, and a quick grab bag if you need to go somewhere in a hurry, or if you do want to go and take that stuff, those extras with you. So I had a lot of weight in here, stuff that I never used on normal hiking, camping, and outings. And it was just excess baggage that I've had for years. Now, again, for long-term survival, some of those items are necessary and should be included in your kit. Like binoculars are probably going to save your life if you're on a hilltop and you see somebody coming up the hill in the distance. You want to be able to see that. So now I don't have my sleeping bag in here right now, or my sleeping pad. That's separate, and we just grab that on the way. And what I do is, recently we've been using the truck, what I do is I just tie it onto the straps up here on the outside of the bag. The sleeping bag is rolled up inside the foam pad. Now you'd be surprised what all's in here, and you know, sometimes the sleeping bag goes in here. Also, I'm working on taking some extra food besides what's in here, and I'm going to have, I'm looking for another pouch. I like compartmentalized things. I want everything compartmentalized. So I want to have a food pouch that I grab and take out, okay? I'm going to have the portable kitchen on the outside that I can disconnect and set aside and use. So everything is compartmentalized. That's why the food is not yet in here. But you'll be surprised what's all in here. I've got an empty place where I'm working on my sewing kit and some different extra things, because I had a complete dollar store sewing kit in here, which was huge and too much, way too much stuff. So I'm working on downsizing that as well and lightening the load. Here I have a sleeping shirt. It's an ultralight, wicking, moisture absorbing sleeping shirt with long sleeves and a hoodie and a hood. That's stays in my bag permanently. Also doubles as a nice pillow if you don't have anything at all on you. Here I've got a long sleeve shirt that is always great for a pull on if you get cold. And I've also got some extra socks and underwear, and a camouflage shirt which is moisture wicking and has a bunch of special qualities. And I've got sew-on patches which I've carried around for many years now for repairing your clothes. And I do think that having the ability, I haven't even worn that yet, it's brand new, the ability to repair your clothes in the field is valuable. Now, it's another thing, if you're going to go out hiking and you got used junk clothing in your permanent bug out bag, and you end up bugging out for real, and you've got junk, worn out clothes, you're going to suffer. So I do have a brand new thing in here. There's a Sunjack folding solar panel. It is quite heavy. Probably in a true bug out situation where all the systems are down and grid down, I would probably not take that. I might end up dumping it out somewhere, but for now, in real world scenario, I take this with me everywhere. It is a lot of weight, but it sure does do the job, and charges my devices on the go. So that's very convenient. I've also got my extra cables in here and a USB device that tells me how much current is coming in and out. Really cool thing. I've got a super light, ultra absorbent, quick dry towel. It's quite large actually, so I'm not going to open it up. And in here I have cordage. Now this is a bag of stuff that I use heavily for building my ultralight shelters, my poncho shelters. I've got pieces. I've got cut lengths here that I've just thrown in. That's probably one of my longer pieces. Yeah, I've got cut pieces of rope that I use again and again and again for tying down my shelter, and it's really nice and quick for making your poncho shelter. I've got a piece of 550 cord cut here, and I've also got two more of these really cool Velcro quick tie straps. These are convenient, and this whole bag here doesn't weigh much at all, maybe a few ounces, and I use this so heavily. It's very much worth having around. Something else I use a lot is a little airplane type blanket, and that's good to have for when it gets colder, or as a pillow. And a thermalite reactor. This is Sea to Summit reactor sleeping bag insert. Now that I'm married, I don't know if I'll ever really use this because there's two of us, and it's a sleeping bag liner. Maybe Melanie could use it sometime, but we'll see if I keep it or not. I'm not sure. So I've got my dollar store tarp, which I bought many years ago, and believe it or not, I have used this very heavily. It's great to have a ground tarp. Here's a secondary one, which is heavier, that I don't carry much unless I'm going out car camping or truck camping. But it's good to have at least one ground tarp. It protects you and your gear from the elements, and I put this underneath my shelter every single time. And it's still, if you take care of your stuff, you can keep it in good shape. It's still like the day I bought it. And like I said, I've used this for years. Since 2007 I've used that tarp. So that's in this pouch here. And then over here I've got some personal hygiene things. A pack of tissues, really nice convenient item. Toilet paper or tissue, you know. A couple toothbrushes for long term. And I've got a handkerchief, which could be a bandana or a tie up an arm or cut into strips to cover extreme wounds. Got dental floss again for long term. You can also use it for tying things and for cordage. Notepad, old military signal mirror, stainless steel. Not the most, it's not the greatest for seeing yourself because it's old and it's wrinkled a little, but it works. Then I've got a Coleman. I'm not going to pull it out, but it's a Coleman. It's about the size of a largish washcloth. Super quick dry that I keep in there. That's nice. That is an actual Coleman product. So it comes in a nice mesh bag that you can strap right on the outside of your stuff here, of your kit. So there's that. I'm going to put these back in here. Now again, I'm still working on the bag. I've got a few things I've got to add and improve. So as I continue updating my bag, I'll show you from time to time what I've changed in the contents. Now I've got some side pouches, and here I've got a waterproof pants, which is important, rain pants. I've got the cold steel knife, the Bushman from Cold Steel, which makes a great spear, and these are nearly indestructible. Really good tool, and it's relatively light. That stays in there. Now, for real long-term survival, this is also a hatchet, axe, or whatever. You thunk it in and you beat on it with a board, and you can cut, split logs, and you can split wood with this if you really have to out in the field. It doesn't have a lot of heft, so it's not going to be as good for cutting and making your shelter. I do have another knife that I carry. Right now I'm in the process of trying to figure out which knife is going to be my secondary knife. Also, I always have a Leatherman on my side. And then I've got one of my most important and favorite tools of survival, and I have received flack for this again and again and again. Yes, I carry a fishing pole with me everywhere I go. I believe in it. I love fishing. I love being prepared. And I have a fishing pole and I have a fishing kit with me everywhere I go. And people said, that's not survival. You're not surviving. You have a fishing pole. You have fishing gear. Well, I'll tell you what. You go out without, I'm going to go with my fishing kit. And I even got stuff to keep this repaired and going. I've got grease and everything. You go out with nothing. I'll go out with my fishing gear. And I'll be comfortable. You'll probably die in a couple months. Anyway, I do use this heavily, so it is there. I used this just last week, not but a few days ago, on the weekend I should say. Now while we're over here, we'll come over to the water. I've got the Hygiene style water bottle on there that's actually a Bear Grylls. Got it from Bison from Buggin' In. And here I've got the Sawyer water filtration kit right there, all together with my water bottle. So that's all one piece. And then on this side pouch, I've got the military poncho, which I've had for years. I've had this since 1990, probably 1998. Military surplus, and it's the original military poncho that I had in the Army. I am not going to take it out because it's a nightmare to get back in there because it is so huge. And it's heavy. I am looking for a replacement. I have a poncho that I gave Melanie because it was too small for me for making a shelter. This is convenient. It was designed for being turned into a shelter as needed. But it's huge and heavy. And then I've got a hanger loop here for a flashlight or whatever it acts or anything you want. And then on the front, I've got the little through night TI3 flashlight, which is quite impressive by the way, and uses a single AAA battery, which you can then recharge with a USB recharger device that I have off the solar panel. And then I've got my old school military compass. So that's it for now. I am revamping this. I am working on the kit, and I've got a few more items going in here. So don't freak out or panic if you see this is missing or that's missing. But this is right now where it stands, and I might give you an update video later when I'm done. Now, the food carry, I've done a full video on this. The contents change from time to time, but I am going to be working on integrating my personal food, my personal silverware and dish and cup and everything into my main bag. And then I want to have the mobile kitchen itself strapped on. So I'm looking for that right now. Anyway, thanks for watching everybody. There is my main bug out bag, and as it stands today, and that's so far. We are going to be taking this out. That does tighten up when I put that on, and when I have my backpack or my sleeping bag, which is by the way just over in the side here, out airing out right now, that goes up on here with the bedroll. So thanks for watching, guys. Please do like, subscribe, and share. Troy from TR Tech Tactical and Survival.